How did chair number 10 of Long March of Darkness get hung up in the end? What are the things in this picture? Today we will talk about the return process of the bench in detail. Let's start with launch in chronological order. Please remember these two things in the picture. This is called change duo. This is the hook used to recycle the system. We'll talk about it in a moment. Now turn the time forward to the moment of separation of the first and second levels. This is a separation picture taken from the interpolar section of a substage. Fading away is the second stage of the rocket. There are a bunch of things in this circle. These are 16 cylinders in total. During the recovery process of the first stage rocket, the attitude of the ship body needs to be controlled. Can't be crooked. You need attitude control engine RCS. A common practice is to inject high-pressure gas. Give the ship a force. The gas cylinder in the picture is for high-pressure gas. In the screen that often returns. I didn't find the scene of the jet. But before Sasaka number 3 returned at the first level, here is the jet. Falcon 9 is also very obvious. When it lights up, it's like puffing. After separation, the first level will continue to fly high by relying on inertia. Fly to an altitude of about 100 kilometers. Then whereabouts? You can see in this picture that here is the recycling hook. This is the 3-frame rudder. After passing the highest point, see it open at 250 plus seconds. The 3-frame rudder is used for pneumatic control. It changes the deflection angle to adjust aerodynamic resistance and lift. Real-time correction of flight attitude and descent trajectory to control the hull. To more than 360 seconds. First stage rocket engine ignition. This is loading ignition or high-altitude ignition. The long stone chair is lit by 2 engines on the side. This ignition occurred before re-entry into the dense atmosphere, both to slow down and to reduce heat flow. The hull is loaded into the atmosphere. High-speed flight will generate heat flow. The higher the speed, the greater the heat flow. The tests on structures and materials are becoming more severe. Load ignition active speed reduction. Control the heat flow within the acceptable range of the rocket. After ignition is completed, the rocket will glide for a while. Continue to rely on fork rudder and RCS to control attitude. Finally, when we were several kilometers above the sea, another ignition. About 450 seconds. This time it's landing and ignition. Until the end of looking back. Long March 10th and the landing section are the central station. Liquid Hair 100 and that can swing plus or minus 8 degrees in both directions. And the 2 outer ones do not have the ability to swing. Liquid Hair 100P ignition for deceleration. After that, 2 Liquid Hair 100P units were shut down. 100 N of liquid is produced in the center. Complete the final descent capture process. Finally, keep the engine that can swing. It is to better control the attitude of the ship body. Simply understood, the fire sprayed by the rocket can be deflected. To control the ship. How did you get stuck in the end? Back to recycling hooks. This is the state at launch. Gathered. About to land. The recycling hook will open. Similar to what it looks like in the animation. A triangular support structure. Last moment. This picture can be clearly seen. The rope is moving closer to the center. Ready to catch the rocket. The recovery hook on the hull has been opened. The moment the hook touches the rope. Retract upward and return to the hull. Then hang on the rope. Watch it again. Contact. Take back. Hang on. Complete capture. Finally, let's analyze where the black smoke comes from. There are currently 3 main theories. Some say, liquid oxygen kerosene engine under low thrust conditions. Insufficient combustion. Produce carbon black. Some say, auxiliary system exhaust. For example, nourishing, controlling and relieving pressure. Or other air path studios form smoke agents. Some said something was burned. Analyze one by one. The first one is obviously doubtful. See from the screen. Black smoke appears from the top of the hull. Not near the engine nozzle. Rocket bottom engine. The color and shape of the tail flame are normal, also very stable. The location doesn't match. It is difficult to attribute this to insufficient combustion in the engine. The second kind, multiple gas emissions from common auxiliary systems, usually appears as white mist, or nearly transparent airflow, even affected by lighting and background. It is also difficult to form such a strong, persistent and grainy black smoke. Let's see when the Shinshi spaceship returns. Finally, there is also the part of throwing the propeller. I have never seen such huge black smoke. I personally prefer the third option. Something is burned at the very tip. The extreme tip section is the location of this picture. Everyone will notice. This part is exposed. And there is equipment here. There will also be sealing materials, coatings, insulation, or composite parts. In the process of level 1 return, the hull experiences high-speed airflow erosion, load heating. If somewhere in it is subjected to an unexpected localized heat flow, materials may undergo pyrolysis, particles that release cold carbon, black smoke ribbon. The source of the black smoke in the video is located relatively high, just in the interpolar section, and lasts longer. Tobacco is in the form of balls and curls. These characteristics are also closer to the smoke produced when the material is burned, rather than pure gas emissions. Although there is black smoke, but the final recycling phase, the hull attitude control is very good. It shows that the overall performance is almost perfect. Black smoke is just a certain part. An unplanned situation occurs that does not affect the overall situation. And many situations in ground simulation, it cannot be completely realistically simulated. It's completely understandable and normal. Of course, this is just a personal guess. What is the reason? Maybe there will be results later. Why do rockets emit black smoke? How did the Long March number 10 get mounted in the end? What are the things in this picture? Thank you for watching.